All right, welcome back to Building Dad Bod 2.0. Day 15 of the cut. Start of week 3. Still sitting at 190 pounds, so expect to be down around 188 pounds by the end of week 3. So today we're going back to doing some heavier squat work. Give my hip a couple weeks to rest after that max squat, bench, deadlift. So now, start of a new training cycle, we're going to start upping the weights again. So 5 sets of 3 on box squats at 307 pounds. So just keep adding a few pounds every week here in the cut until I run out of steam, and then we'll drop back down and hit doubles. We're just going to try to keep as much strength or build as much strength as we can, even though we're cutting. Finding the cut, it's actually easier to hit heavy low rep work than it is to hit heavy high rep work. I run out of energy on the heavy high rep stuff. So on the low bar squats, I just went to singles, and I worked my way up to 355 for 5 sets of singles. So I'll just keep adding weight every week. So this week 355, next week 360, then 365. See how far we can push it. The most I've done with the Buffalo bar when I was bulking, like a clean rep, was 386. And that got me to 407 with a straight squat bar. So Buffalo bar is obviously a little bit harder than the straight bar. What I figured out in my winter training cycle there. So I like training with the Buffalo bar. It's easier on the shoulders and it really benefits the straight bar. So now, instead of doing a heavy volume with the squat bar, what I decided to do was going to do some box squats with the sandbag to really hammer the quads. So this is my 3rd set, and what I did was picked up the bag, did a carry from here down the track and back into a set of good mornings, as many good mornings as I could, with the 200-pound sandbag, which on the 3rd set turned out to be 7. And then after the good mornings, straight into a set of 10 of box squats. Now, as far as good mornings go, nothing hammers the lower posterior chain like the cambered bar. If I was to just focus on glutes and hamstrings, I would use the cambered bar hands down. But obviously with the sandbag, you're getting more of your upper posterior chain to go along with the lower posterior chain, like lights up the upper back, just hanging onto the bag, doing the work. And then the box squats with the sandbag, I find really isolate the quads well. So it's nice that it's only 200 pounds. I'd be doing much heavier than this if I was to do in like heavy back squat volume, which I say in the cut, the energy levels aren't as high. So the sandbag, don't get me wrong, kicks the crap out of me, but because it's a reduced load trying to hang on to it, I'm still getting used to the sandbag. I find I can handle that a little bit better. Not to mention, these are super easy on the hip. And I'm going more quad focused in the cut in terms of squat accessories. So just hammering low bar squats is going to keep hitting the posterior chain. I'm throwing in lots of posterior chain accessories, but squat variations are focused on anyway, like in terms of accessories. So to keep hammering low bar squats for volume is just going to hit the posterior chain more. Where with those, like I say, they really target the quads really, really well. My quads were on fire by the end of that. I finished up the day with a set of 22 on razor curls, a set of 15 on back extensions, and then a set of 20 on reverse hypers. Just one set of each, all back to back to back with no rest in between. By the time I finished up leg day, I had my pork loin all smoked up, ready to go for protein for the week. Pork loin, pork tenderloin are 2 of my go-to protein sources when I'm cutting. It's about half the price of chicken breast here. In my opinion, it tastes better than chicken anyway. If you go with pork tenderloin, it's just about as lean as chicken, so great protein source. That's it for the workout. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.